Are you finding it to be different?
I think so. I think a lot of people want it, which has always been a thing. But I think more people are, I don't know if it's scared to go after it, or I'm not exactly sure what.
Like,
the
you mean like
mindset
people
is.
are like not approaching the way that they used to?
Yes.
Oh, I've seen that.
Yeah.
I have seen,
People are not
like,
really
we went to a
approaching.
lounge and there were just a bunch of people and nobody spoke to anybody.
Right.
But people were checking each other out. And I was like,
Yes.
wow,
It's a lot of
nobody
eyes.
is going to talk to anyone.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that could be partially the like texting culture. Like,
Yeah.
people are so used to messaging or sliding in
Right.
DMs. It feels a little safer than going up and actually
Right.
talking to somebody. Yeah, because it's like hard to do to get out there when like the world has changed.
Yes.
You know, if let's say you've been married for 10 years
Oh my gosh.
or you were in a relationship for 10 years, like
Yeah.
dating apps are completely different.
Completely different.
So I feel like the one thing I would suggest first is like be aware of who you are talking to. Because like there are two types of single friends, right?
Yes.
There's the single friends who are like actually well-intentioned and encouraging. And then there's the single friends that are like, go fuck everyone.
Right.
And that person and blah, blah. Because I have both of those sides of friends.
Yeah.
And with my newly single people, I'm like, maybe don't talk to that one.
Right.
Because like they'll just put you back into like
Yeah.
a negative space.
Yeah.
And it also kind of depends on your age, right? I guess if you're like 20 years old, like who gives a f?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Yeah, fuck around like
do
you
what
should.
You gotta do. Explore.
But if you're, you know, at an age where you, whatever age that is, that you feel like, hey, I want something more, don't take advice from
Right.
single people who have bad experiences themselves.
Yeah, that's such a good point. Is really know who you are and what you want, and don't just accept things that are going to come at you. Because, you know, there's people out there who want to fuck around, and that's fine if that's what you want to do. But if you don't want that, then you need to be steadfast and, you know, be sure in that and be willing to let people go.
Yeah, I think that's such an important thing of like being aware of what you want. Because the benefit of having been in a relationship is it teaches you a lot about that, right? I think the hard part is when you're single and haven't been in a relationship, you almost don't know
it's true.
what you want or where to go. But when you come out of it, like, have you kind of discovered a few more things that you're like, yeah, I think I want this or I don't want this?
For sure. There's so much that happens when you're in a relationship that you really just can't experience while you're single, like learning about yourself and what you like or want or need in a relationship. So yeah, I definitely have learned a lot from this experience, 100%.
Yeah, and also like the kind of relationship you want, right? Because there's a reason it didn't work out,
right?
And how can you improve on that? But you can't do it if you're not like choosing to be aware. You and I have talked a lot about this, but I really do think like being mindful of your narrative after a breakup is a big thing because, I mean, for me, I remember when I broke up with my ex who I was living with, like you guys all literally said to me, like, don't go back and be the old Tash. And that like stuck with me. And I was like, oh no, I'm actually in a good spot because I had changed my narrative. And I was like, I'm going to be okay. I'll meet somebody that's right for me.
Exactly.
And where my friend who's currently going through it is going through this narrative where he's telling himself, you know, he's like, but I mean, I couldn't meet anybody before her that was at my level because he's a very mature person.
Yeah.
And he was like, so why would I meet them now? And I was like, firstly, you got to check yourself and saying those things. That was like, that was almost 10 years ago.
Right. That was a long
10
time
years
ago.
ago, like 10 years later, there's a whole new pool of people. If you're single, there must be other single people out there. Also, like you're at a more mature age. You're not at the same age. So like the pool is very different, right? It's an immature pool.
Yeah. Right. That's a good point.
I mean, like, I was just like, now you probably have more people. You also know more people.
Right.
You can ask people to introduce you now, like, where, again, and I'm always telling people, if you exist, somebody else
Exactly.
like you exists.
Yeah.
We are not that special.
We're really not.
So like, let's not act like, oh my God, I'm the
the only
greatest
one,
thing on earth and
or
nobody
I'm
else.
the worst thing on earth. Like, no.
Yes, exactly.
Unless you're Ted Bundy. You're not.
Yeah. Dahmers,
Right.
Bundys,
All those people.
those guys.
Sure. Yes.
I hope you guys enjoyed that video and check out our next one. Thank you so much for watching, and please subscribe to this channel for more amazing dating, love, and relationship advice from me and so many expert guests. Follow us on socials. We're at Kinda Dating across the board. I'm Natasha Chandel, so you can find me too if you like. And join our newsletter on www.kindadating.com for lots of exclusives. See you soon.